And beginning with our top story, Ukraine says that Russia launched the largest missile and drone attack of the Moscow's more than 3.5 years of invasion of Ukraine. This time the target was mainly the west of the country, the western city of Lutsk, coming under the heaviest attack of the war. Explosions also rocked Kyiv at around midnight. The Ukrainian Air Force said that Russia had attacked with 728 drones and 13 missiles, adding that its air defense systems intercepted 711 drones and that at least 7 missiles were destroyed. Ukrainian Air Force says that Russian forces deployed 728 drones and decoys as well as 7 Kh-101 of Iskander-K cruise missiles and 6 Kinzhal missiles as well. Also, the latest strike beat a previous Russian record of 550 drones and missiles that was set earlier this month. It comes just after the United States U-turned on the announcement that it would reduce some weapon supplies to Ukraine. The latter has been marked by disturbingly frequent mass attacks on civilian targets, with Russia regularly terrorizing cities with ballistic as well as cruise missiles, alongside record-breaking number of kamikaze drones. President Donald Trump says that he approved sending U.S. defensive weapons to Ukraine and is now considering additional sanctions on Moscow, underscoring his frustration with Russian President Putin over the growing death toll in Russia's war with Ukraine. Donald Trump, who pledged as a presidential candidate to end the war within a day, has not been able to follow through on that promise, and efforts by his administration to broker peace have come up short. And joining us on the broadcast from Kyiv is Volodymyr Omelyan. He's former Major of Armed Forces of Ukraine and also a politician. He's also been former Minister of Infrastructure of Ukraine between 2016 and 2019. Mr. Omelyan, appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. Now, Ukraine says that Russia launched its largest missile and drone attack since the start of its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. In fact, fires were reported in the western city of Lutsk. Your assessment first up of the damage on the ground.
Thank you for having me. It's a great honor to be with you and your channel. Concerning this attack, unfortunately, they come on regular basis to Ukraine. Russia decided to terrorize civil cities, bombing one after another at the maximum scale. They hit another record of sending drones to Ukraine. Luckily, we already changed our tactics and ready to intercept at more than 90% of them. But still, damages and casualties and deaths are present. And the only message that Russia sends to the world: we want to kill you all. It's not about Ukraine. Putin lives with the idea of Stalin to conquer Europe and the world. And when was Soviet Union, they were kind of perceived by the idea to have communism all over the world. Right now, they have another idea of having terrorism all over the world. I believe that together with United States, together with India, Ukraine will stop Russia from these barbarian attacks, and Red Army will have to step back.
Yes, and in continuation to that same point, how well armed do you think Ukraine is to tackle Russia's attack? Because majority of the drones, as we understand, were intercepted by the Ukrainian forces.
It's war, so we shall all understand that it's all real, and unfortunately, it's happening at the large scale in the center of Europe. But our armed forces are getting stronger and stronger. First of all, we rely on your own resources, but very grateful to all our allies. Not only those who send us weapons or financial support, but also those who block Russia from illegal money to feed Russian army. Because Putin can be easily stopped even with sanctions or ban on Russian oil and gas. Without money, Russians will not be able to fight and to send those drones in particular.
Yes, also, Mr. Omilian, important to mention here that the strikes come within hours of Donald Trump saying that he wasn't happy with Putin and also tackling, he's also spoken of sanctions. Do you see any correlation here when it comes to these attacks, the recent one that's been carried out by Russian forces?
Any phone conversation of Putin leader immediately cause another attack on Ukraine. Because Putin believes that he will be only respected by force if he kills somebody. In case of Donald Trump, I'm happy to see great change because Trump always believes in leaders, not even in nations or values. He finally realized that Putin is not a leader, but a cheater who wants to manipulate Trump. Putin is a barbarian whose only goal in life is to kill innocent civilians and to occupy foreign lands. That's why I hope that will be not a kind of short change, but long-time revision of Trump's strategy towards Russia. And finally, Americans will not help Russians when new Soviet Union will collapse. It will collapse.
Yes, another point that I wanted to bring here, Mr. Omilian, is about tomorrow's Ukraine Recovery Conference that is set to take place in Rome. President Zelensky says that he's sending the delegation, of course. What is Ukraine, you think, is expecting out of this conference?
We hope to establish direct links and preliminary contracts with all business interested in Ukraine. For example, I'm talking also to a number of very respectful Indian companies who see great potential in Ukraine's economy, in defense, because I believe India badly needs new Ukrainian knowledge and skills in drones, many types of them. So all this will be discussed in Rome. I hope so. And more than important, that next step after the Rome conference will be feasibility studies in each areas of interest for potential investors. We are ready to do it within the wartime, to start reconstruction and to start make business in Ukraine next day when the war ends.
Yes, Mr. Volodymyr, that's the only time we have on the broadcast. But point taken, of course, like you mentioned, that remains to be seen if the Western allies will step up the sanctions and also what really comes out of that conference. Appreciate you joining us on the broadcast.
Thank you for having me.